Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. And then this is also from Annalisa. She says, also advice on pitching. I have a few local businesses I want to pitch my services to, but I'm kind of stuck on how to initiate the convo. Example, one is a local boutique and they told me that their employees do their social media, but I'm like, there's so much room for improvement. I didn't want to offend them after they said that though, so I just left it alone. I've tried that before many times, and I found that it's not really effective because it does do kind of what you said. Like it kind of comes across as like if you have a criticism for them, you don't want to offend them if they say that they're doing it. And even if it's an agency or something, they don't want to go back to their agency and be like, hey, this girl said that you suck. You know what I mean? I know that you wouldn't say it like that. You would say it in a nice professional way. But yeah, so I don't know if that is what you're saying, but if that was your intro, maybe try a different in. I honestly just, first of all, this is not my favorite part of my job. I do not like pitching. I do not like selling. I do not like selling myself. That is for sure. But it's a part of the game. So I really just like to be very, take an approach that's sort of less confrontational, I guess you could say. And I just say, hey, do you have 15 minutes to chat about your marketing plan or your marketing strategy? Something like that. That's a little bit just, hey, I just would like to get to know you. And from there, you know, I try to ask, that was intense. I really try to ask questions about their business. So I think we get stuck in asking about social media, like what are you doing? Who's doing it? Whatever. But really what I want to know is what are their business goals? Because I think I find whether they have an external social media manager, whether it's in-house, whether they're doing it, whatever, what's really going to get them to convert is if you can solve a problem for them. So if they're telling you, hey, yeah, so if you're asking them, hey, what are your pain points with social or with your business in general right now? And they say, you know what, I'm just having a hard time getting traffic in the door. You can come back and think about it and think about what you would do from a social media perspective and win them over that way and kind of present the solution. Because yeah, just like asking what they're already doing or who's already doing it, a lot of times it is wrong. And so it's just kind of one of those things that's like, you want to come with a solution for their business. You know, we want to always tie it back to their business, and to them, like social media a lot of times doesn't mean anything. Like they know that they need it, but you telling them, hey, like I can do this better. Well, how? Like what makes you different? What are your ideas? And how are you going to tie this back to my bottom line? So I just really like to have a conversation about their business and like lightly touch on social and marketing, of course, but I'm not going to run down all of my capabilities or all of the clients that I've worked with or anything like that. I really just want to understand their needs and their pain points in their business right now, and, you know, understand how long they've been in business and who their customers are and things like that, and then come back to them with a proposal that's based on that. So I'm really doing more listening than anything when I'm first getting to know a prospective client. And then when I actually go in for the pitch, so I do kind of that intro where I get to know them, get to understand what they need. Then I go back and I do a proposal on my own. So I do a presentation or a document for them. And then I either meet with them or send it off to them. And that's kind of where I sell myself. And like I sell some examples of some of the strategies that I'm going to do for them, more about my capability, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think listen more than like you talk for the first part. I think that's so helpful. And it also helps build up trust too, because if they can kind of like vent to you or like tell you things and you just listen objectively and, you know, get to know them, I think that helps a ton, rather than, like you said, coming at them and being like, hey, this is terrible. You know, just be kind of an advisor for them in the beginning and listen to them for a few minutes and then come back and sell. I hope that was helpful. What are your favorite ways to increase a brand's follower audience engagement on social media? You know, I think this is like the most basic answer ever, but post good content. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. You got to make sure that you're investing in your content. I notice when I do this for myself, when I do this for my clients, when I post really good pictures or, you know, really compelling content, I go out and do shoots, I invest a little bit more in a photographer or, you know, whatever, the return is there. So post really great content. Secondly, know your audience. I guess firstly, know your audience so you know what type of content to post, because it's not just, you know, whatever you feel like that day. It needs to be based in research. So understand again, like going back to that last question, what problems do your target customers have? For me, a lot of my target clients, customers are you guys watching, of course, and you guys want this stuff. You want to know how to manage your business, how to better your business. So I am going to post content about that rather than about, what I ate for dinner, although I do both, but for the most part, I try to focus on stuff that's going to be value adding, because that's what people want. They want value in their life. So they don't want, just you posting whatever you want. And that goes for obviously you and your clients. So understand your client, your customer. And I really like to just try new things. Honestly, I think that we get stuck in a rut on social media. And I know that's really general to say, but we get stuck in a rut a lot. I get stuck doing the same stuff on Twitter, just posting a link and a picture and using it's so boring, There are new things to try almost every day. If I wrote out a list of things that maybe I haven't tried in a while or that I should try, I can go on and on forever. And don't just try things just because they're new. Try things because they make sense for you, but just try new things when they do make sense. And the social media platforms do tend to favor you using those new tools and the new methods of communications, like using stickers and polls and stories and all that stuff. So just try it out and see how it works. You can't know that you fail unless you try to fail or try to succeed. So just try out new things and also just be really conversational. I think that's another thing that a lot of people forget is that social media is social media. It's not just spew out a bunch of content and walk away. So spend as much time engaging as you are posting. And I know that sounds crazy, but when I post an Instagram picture, I spend 20 to 30 minutes on Instagram afterwards, going through hashtags, going through the location that I just tagged, responding to people, because again, it helps with the algorithms and all that stuff, but it also shows that you're interested. And I'm big on the whole birds of a feather or law of attraction or whatever you want to call it, and that when people see that you're responding, it makes them even more inclined to respond. And that goes for all social platforms. I'm kind of talking about Instagram here, but it really goes for all social platforms. You have to be interactive and talk to people. How do you get your clients to help you produce their brand's content to post? Okay, so here's the tea. I don't anymore. I mean, I do somewhat. Let me back that up. So I do, what do I call it? Kind of like a brand guide and do examples of content that I'd like them to capture. So if they're doing an event, if they're going to a conference or something, it gives some examples of pictures that work well at conferences or, things that I want, videos, whatever. Because they don't know what they don't know. And I really try to make this really detailed. So I'll go through specifications do I want vertical video for stories? Do I want horizontal video for YouTube? Do I want square pictures for Instagram? Do I, detail all of that stuff, because most of your clients are not going to be marketing people. They're not going to be photographers. So they don't know. It's not their fault. It's your job to help them understand what you need. So I try to spell that all out in a document. Ideally, if it is something like a conference or a store opening or something that I can't be at, and that is really important that we get images and photos and stuff, I will try to have a call with them to kind of walk through that with them. So that's what I do. But yeah, the tea is I kind of don't do a lot of that anymore. I've really tried to start doing it myself. And that is a big ask because I have a video coming. I haven't filmed it yet, but I want to film it during this month. Or maybe I'll do a podcast episode. I haven't decided yet, but I do want to talk about whether or not I really consider myself a social media manager anymore. Because I think that my role has expanded so much for my clients, because I think nowadays you kind of have to be a modern marketer, you really need to be sort of, I don't want to say a jack of all trades, because I think that can be dangerous too, to not have a specialty, but I think that you do need to do more than just post nice tweets. I have just taken it upon myself 9 times out of 10. It's easier for me to pick up my camera, no matter how much of a professional I don't think I am. I can still get quicker work, cheaper work, better work, more efficient work, more targeted work, whatever, all that stuff done for my clients by picking up my camera and doing it myself than hiring out an agency or trying to get them to do it. I'm definitely, and this is no shade obviously to my clients, but most of my clients are not marketers, they're not photographers, they're not videographers. So even me as, imposter syndrome as I am, I can usually still get better quality content by doing it myself than instructing them to do it. And then I'm able to upsell as well and provide the extra value for them and increase my income as well. So it's a win-win, because if they were going to go to an agency, it'd be so much more expensive. So it's a little bit somewhere in the middle. So yeah, I really try to do a lot for them. And obviously that really only works for local clients, but you can also travel to your clients. You know, if they're paying a certain amount, why not? I have traveled for clients and have had some of my most success when I've actually traveled for clients, events, and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of the tea, is I just have been trying to do a lot more of that. Oh my gosh, there's so many questions, and I think my camera's gonna run out of battery or card space. How do you feel about social listening for social selling? Is it a shady way of snatching customers from other businesses, or a great way to put your product services out there to match specific needs of a consumer whose needs aren't being met? Wow, that is a really great question. I kind of want to know more about what you mean, because I think people define social listening and social selling very differently. But social listening, and for those of you guys who don't know, you can kind of listen in, you can type in keywords to different tools. You can even do this by a search on Twitter, just searching like need a social media manager, for example, and see what people are saying and respond to those. I mean, that's like very one-on-one on what social listening is. Now, I know that there are some very advanced tools out there where you can get like really kind of creepy. I guess I'm a little confused about where you say like snatching consumers from other businesses, because I guess I don't know what, like if there's a tool that you've seen that does that or what, but I wouldn't recommend like snatching people. Like if you see somebody, for example, commenting on Dyson's Facebook and you're a competitor, like a vacuum, you're Kirby or whatever, messaging them and saying, oh, we're better. I don't know. I personally don't respond to that as a consumer, so I wouldn't do that. That's, you know, if I guess that was a bad example. Why did I use a vacuum example? You know, if I saw somebody responding to a social media manager saying, oh, can I work with you? And then I went and kind of swooped, I just wouldn't do that. I don't know. Like I would maybe engage with them. I think that's what it's about. It's about that soft sell. Like maybe you can follow them and maybe they'll follow you back. So then they'll see the content you're posting, or you like their tweet instead of, you know, replying, hey, come to us instead. I think it's all about the way that you do it. Definitely use it to your advantage. I mean, I guess the competitor aspect is a little weird for me, but I do social listening all the time to understand what's going on in my area, in my industry, whatever, and engage with those people. If I see people talking about, I want to become a YouTuber, cool, I'm going to follow them or engage with them, and hopefully they will see that I have a course all about becoming an influencer and they can join it. You know what I mean? So let me know. I mean, I know that was really high level and we don't have a lot of time because my SD card's going to run out, but let me know if that was helpful. I don't know. Give me some more details if you don't mind on like what tools you're using or what you're trying to do with social listening, and maybe I'll take a look and try to do a more in-depth video on listening, because I actually haven't done one on that, and I think a lot of people would benefit from that. What are your favorite resources or go-to resources when it comes to social media and entrepreneurship? Love your podcast. Do you have any recommendations? Anybody who's been on my podcast, honestly, a lot of them have content of their own. I love Annalisa Creative. I love, and of course I just like totally blank. Tricia Mogensen, she doesn't have like YouTube or anything, but she has Instagram, and she does post a lot of good tips for Instagram on there. Who else? Like I said, anybody who's been on my podcast for the most part has some type of content. So you can go to journeys.com/podcast, see all the guests and find them through there. For like bigger people, Amy Porterfield, I love her. I think she is brilliant. I don't listen to her so much anymore, and there's not like any reason why. It's not like I don't like her anymore or anything like that. I just haven't been listening to her lately. Is Jenna Kutcher. I really like her content. Yeah, I really don't do a lot of listening to other people. If you guys saw my why I don't watch a Gary Vee video anymore, I try to kind of tune a lot of things out just so I can really focus, but those are people who have really inspired me over the years. Gary Vee obviously has inspired me over the years. I think those are some of the big ones, but if I think of any others, I will leave them in the description box or in the show notes for you as well. And I also know there's a girl, I have only watched like one of her videos, but I think her name is Kimberly Jimenez, I want to say. A lot of people say that they found me through her channel or vice versa. So I've only watched a couple of her videos, but I know a lot of people who like my stuff probably like hers. And then the last question is best ways to find new clients. And I know that I've answered this question many times before, so I'm gonna do my best to find a video and timestamp it and link it in the description box so you can watch it exactly where I answer that question, because I know I have before. So with that said, I'm gonna go, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'm talking really fast now because I'm running out of time. I hope this video was helpful for you guys though, and if you guys have any other questions, leave them in the comments below so I can answer them in a future video. And I'll see you guys then. Bye.